So tonight is going to be all about enrolling distributors and a little bit about new product launch that's coming this week. Whoop, whoop. So I just pulled reports and kind of saw who was enrolling distributors like a boss right now and just said, hey, will you hop on and tell us what you're doing? Give us all the things. Tell us all the things about how you're getting distributors enrolled. So we will. Deb, let's start with you. We'll hop in with Deb and then we'll go to whoever wants to go next, Melanie or Jess. You guys can duke it out. I don't care. But we'll start with Deb.
Okay. Hey guys, how's everyone tonight? So basically what I do is I upped my game because I'm pushing for a promotion this month, and I started back in September and I upped the amount of messages that I was sending. And I send 100 messages on Facebook and 100 messages on Instagram every single day. And I literally just sit and send the messages. I don't reply to anyone until I've got those 200 messages out. And I know it sounds like a lot, but it takes me about 20 minutes to send that many. And then it's done. And I generally try and do it first thing in the morning, so then I can spend the rest of the day replying to those messages. And I just work that into my day, really. But if I get it done first thing in the morning, then it's done. The other thing that I do is I post every single day on my Facebook and stories consistently about the product, but also about the business opportunity and what it's done for me. Like silly things like I was able to buy a golf cart for my husband with commissions, and that kind of was huge. Like that got a lot of attention because people are like, it's something big. Like it's not huge, but it's something big and something substantial. I also posted that I paid off a credit card in full, and I got a lot of messages on that. So don't be scared to put it out there what you've done, even if it's just something small. Like celebrate the little things as well. I follow up daily. So if I spoke to someone today, I follow up with them tomorrow. And then I follow up with them 3 days after that. And then they go on my weekly follow-up list. I use a planner. I switched to this in September. I'm a paper and pencil type person. So at the top of my planner goes the person's name, if they're a DT, if they're signing up to be a DT, or if they're signing up to be a loyal customer. So I get a date from people. So when I'm talking to someone and they're really interested, if they say to me, oh, I don't have money until next week, I always say to them, okay, what day works next week? And I get a date out of them, and I make it out that I'm making time for them in my schedule, and I put it in my planner. So the top of my planner is for anyone that said they're actually going to sign up that day or they're going to place an order that day. The bottom of my planner is potentials. And it makes it so easy when something comes out like this 50% off promotion. You can go back through your planner and just message all the DTs pretty fast. And then the other thing that I do is I talk to everyone, absolutely everyone. Coming back from Green Cafe, I talked to the lady on the plane next to me and signed her up as a loyal customer. Like when I first started, I was a little bit afraid to like just put it out there, but I talk to everyone. And I'll tell you the message that I'm sending because it's really, really simple. And it's a combination of a couple of messages. Do you want me to tell you guys what the message is?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just say, hey. I don't use like, hey girl, because that's not me. So I'll say hey, and I'll say their name. I always use a name, and I say, I'm not sure if you've been seeing my posts. I really think you'd be amazing at what I do. Have you ever thought about doing something on the side for extra income? And I get a huge response from that. Like people get back and say, no, not right now, or yeah, what do you have in mind? And I don't say that I'm in network marketing. I say I'm a brand ambassador. I've kind of changed the wording on that recently, and it seems to be working a little bit better. But the key is in the follow-up. And then I also, like, if I get someone that's super interested, I try and get them on the phone. Like, I try and get a cell phone number out of them. And if I've got a cell phone number, that tells me that they are definitely interested. And then I set up some sort of time that I can talk with them. But that seems to be working.
So can I ask you, once you get them on the phone, how do you kind of walk me through that conversation, or how do you start it off? How do you lead?
Okay, so first off, when I first get them on the phone, I try and find out a little bit about them, where they're at, if they're doing another job, why they're looking for extra income firstly, and why they're interested in what I do. So I try and figure out what their why is a little bit, so that then as we go on, if they're struggling, I can remind them and say, hey, remember why we're doing this. And then also just letting them know that we have a great support system behind us seems to push a lot of people to take the leap of faith, and just take that jump. And then I always say to them, like, I always tell them a little bit about my story as well. Like, and one of the big things that I say to them is that I was a single mom, and I wish to God somebody would have put this in front of me when I was. And so now I'm going to offer it to everyone. That's kind of what I say to them. And then I say to them, what is the worst thing that can happen? You sign up, you get a bunch of free products, you absolutely hate it, and that's it. That's the worst thing that can happen. But the best thing that could happen is you absolutely love it, you make a ton of money, so far. And it seems to work. So I get to know them, but I give them a little bit about me too. And it just seems to work.
I love it. I love getting people on the phone. It's just, there's something about, like, when they can hear your excitement, you become a real person. Like, I absolutely love getting people on the phone.
Yeah.
People are asking if you can drop the message that you send in the comments, in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but let me ask you this really quick. So you said now after you left Green Carpet, you've started talking to everyone. So can you tell me, because we have conference coming up, you guys, can you tell me the impact that Green Carpet had on you and your confidence and how you talk to people, and how is that, like, why there's been a little bit of a change?
Yeah, it was huge. It was more like, I've always had this big philosophy, and I've never really been worried about what people think. When I first started, I was a little bit, just because I have another business, and I didn't want people to think that my business was struggling, especially my clients, because I have a lot of them on social media as well. But I've always had this thing in the back of my head that they don't pay my bills. I was a single mom for a long time, and I really struggled, and nobody came and paid my bills. So I don't worry too much about what people think, but seeing people on stage, you can relate to those people, and seeing that they were just like me, it was like, shoot, I talked to everyone about my bookkeeping business. Why the heck am I not doing this? And I'm the kind of person, I get on a plane and I just sit there. I don't talk to anyone. And I was like, forget that crap. I got 3 hours here. I can talk to this girl next to me, and, maybe she wants some products, and bingo bango, she did. So, and I think it's just getting that confidence of, not that I don't care what people think, but I'm more confident in the company as a whole now. Like, I'm seeing the products work for me, and, seeing what it's doing financially for us. So I'm a lot more confident in that. Mm-hmm. And I think it comes from that.
Yeah, I love that. I heard once, way like back in the day at a conference, that, we all sit around praying for our next runner to come. Like, Lord Jesus, send me a runner, right? Mm-hmm. Send me somebody who's going to run with this business like I do. And he's like, I sent them to you. They were at Walmart and you were too scared to talk to them. Like, you never know who that person is that needs this, that's going to be an ambassador diamond. You just have to open your mouth and share it. So I love that you brought that up. Yeah. Okay, Melanie or Jess, who wants to go?
I'm raising, like, I'm trying to unmute myself. Can I go?
Yep.
Okay. Hudson's like whining that I haven't read to him like 3 nights in a row. So, like, if I can do mine. Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. All right. So I think what you guys are going to find is that we're saying the same thing over and over because there isn't anything magic. 3 years later, there's no magic here, friends. You just have to freaking do it. And I take myself and put myself accountable with that because August was a rough month for me emotionally. I had a really hard time. And then I'm in September like, why aren't I signing anyone? Because I wasn't doing it. Like I wasn't doing enough of what I was supposed to be doing, okay? So all the stuff that we've ramped up, Deb started her messages now. Even if she's top enrolling now, she's going to like skyrocket enroll in like 3 months, 4 months. February comes around, she goes presidential. It's because she's sending 100 messages right now, okay? All right, so what am I doing personally? Stories. You're going to hear it over and over again. It's because I call it the unregulated part. Like everybody gets to see it. I've watched my views jump up on Facebook. My views are actually higher on Facebook than they are on Instagram and have been for a few months now. That has completely flip-flopped in the last year. So tell your story. Like it is not enough to post a graphic and say, okay, it's better than nothing, but it's not going to speak to your people. If you put a graphic up there that says earn money from home for, $200 to $500 a month, and then it's like some generic Pinterest image, you're going to have to do, I hate over, I hate unfold, I've already told Trista this before, I freaking suck at it. And if you don't know the apps I'm talking about, I'm sorry, because you're probably going to have to get used to it. You're going to have to do something. And I even said, if I've said it once, I said it a dozen times, I'm like, either everyone is a lot smarter at these apps or faster at it than I am because I'm an app dummy with creating these things, or they're just spending a lot more time doing it. And it probably both are true, okay? And I neglect doing these elaborate story things because I'm like, that's not income producing, but it is. It is telling your story in an attractive way that is going to speak to your people because it's cohesive and the words are visible and it's not just slapped over. I'm guilty of it. You can feel free to stalk my stories because I'm guilty of getting them out quick and just trying, but do like 3 sequences, and we're talking 4 to 6 pictures. Okay, so like 4 to 6 pictures, no more than that. You don't need to do 12, okay? If you do 1, good for you, but try for 3 to 6 or so, right? Pictures of you, pictures of your family, tell a quick story, and do like 3 or 4 of those, 3 or 4 versions. Save it in a little folder on your camera roll and rotate those suckers out, okay? I don't care. If the fact that these people are seeing the same story like every 5 days from you, who cares? They're going to see it and they're going to get double. It doesn't, okay? It needs to speak to your people. Something that is about you, why you joined, what life felt like before this. And if you haven't earned $1, that doesn't matter. What do you hope? You have hope and light now that you did not have before because you were changing something about your life. That is good enough even if you haven't earned $1 with this. You don't need to be making millions of dollars to have a good story to tell people. But what motivates you to do what you're doing? Because that is what people are sitting there thinking right at the same time, that they're tired of not having money for their car, money for their gas. They're sick and tired of not having to be able to get whatever they want at the grocery store because it was hamburger instead of steak or whatever the thing was, okay? So tell your story that way. And you need to do it every day. You need to do it every day. I do recommend letting your story go flat, and that means like go empty like every so often, maybe like once a week. Let all those little bars in your story go away. And then so that it looks like you're not doing it, and then start the next day because it does something. It does something. I think somehow with the way it notifies people or something, it gets it going again. So that when you have an empty day or an empty period of time, and then you start posting, it notifies people that hey, Melanie's posted to her story, and they go look at that. It ups that view count. So just with that caveat, however, I would rather you post in your story every single day and take no breaks and get used to the consistency of it than get all weirded out about trying to get views and your algorithm and all that, okay? Just do it. Freaking ask people. For the love, ask people. The biggest thing I ever hear, me personally, I set it at 30 messages a day. Okay, like I'm crying that Deb is doing 200 a day and my 30, not lying. My 30, okay? I would get to 20 and be like, holy Lord, like it's never going to end. Like I'm never going to get, I'm still doing that. Like I think I just did it. I cried about it 2 nights ago. It was like midnight and I'm like, I'm only at 27, okay? Just do it. Set a number that you feel is going to be something that you can hit. I don't care if it's 5 or whatever, okay? Just do something and do it every day. I just talked with a new DT today, and she's like, I'm not signing any customers. She's been in the business 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay, cool. What are you doing? And she's like, well, so far I've messaged 7 people. Okay. If you're not asking, you're not going to get an answer. Like, you have to ask, and you have to do it more than like giving it the like deep thoughts about the 4 people that you've ever known in your life and that you've known since kindergarten. Okay. You're going to have to start asking more people every single day, not once a week, not 5 a week, not something like that. Okay. And I know that feels painful, but it doesn't get any unpainful. And honestly, you're probably never going to feel like it. I never, ever, ever feel like messaging people. Can we just be real? Occasionally I'll be scrolling my feed and see somebody that's a rock star, and I'm like, I just did it. And I was like, why aren't you doing this with me? But that's 1 out of 150 messages over the 4 days. Like, you're not going to feel like it. So you're just going to have to resolve yourself to do it. And even if it's setting a calendar reminder on your phone that this is the time you do it, and you don't get to do anything else, like watch TV or something fun or cool, until you get your messages out. That's literally how I operate every day, 3 years later. Okay, polls are good. I love polls. I don't do them on every single story, but I do like them because when I don't do them, I have no idea what's happening. So even though I am convinced that 99% of the people who vote on my poll do it by accident, like it's an accidental tap or swipe, like it's so annoying. And I feel like I'm on a personal goal to get people to like careful swiping. Like, you're going to get a message. I seriously am messaging every single person that votes. I don't care if it's a dude. I don't care if it's my 85-year-old grandpa. They're going to get a message because it does one of 2 things. 1, be freaking careful when you're swiping through my story because I don't want to make time to message you. You're not serious. But 2, they're going to respond back and be like, ooh, sorry, I didn't mean to. And so now my stuff is now populating in their feed because we're messaging on Messenger. It looks like we have a conversation and that we're having interaction. So message every single person. I don't care if you think they're serious or not. I don't care if all of them come back, because they do frequently to me, Instagram and Facebook. Oh, didn't mean to. Okay, cool. Well, next time you're going to be careful, or you're going to go ahead and get another message from me. Polls, how do you make the polls and stories? I do them all on Instagram, and my Instagram story posts directly to my Facebook. I think Instagram stories are easier to use. We can do a whole other Zoom about stories and whatever, but get with your leader or whatever if you haven't figured out stories. If you don't have an Instagram, that's okay. You can create an Instagram and still post from that Instagram and link it to your Facebook account. I just think the Instagram stories are so much easier, user-friendly, they're prettier, they're just more functional, they're more intuitive, and then you have the poll feature and all of that. So even if you don't have an Instagram, that's okay. You don't even need to start building followers on Instagram, but do it on Instagram and share it over to Facebook because I just think it's nicer. It's easier for you in the long run. Okay, and I would be curious about, well, post and go live. Like, we know, okay, and I'm guilty of not going live as frequently, telling my story. I used to do that all the time. It's not something that I've been doing lately personally, but that does not mean I shouldn't be. Okay, there's a do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. However, when I was in the first, and it doesn't make a difference, because whether you've been in the business for 2 weeks or like 20 years, you should still be telling your story regularly every single day. Okay, all the time. Like, you just tell it all the time and you feel like everyone knows. You still need to be telling it because people need to hear it so many times before they finally get ready to pull that trigger with you, or when you ask them or whatever. But go live, even if it's like 5 minutes, or you're like doing your makeup, or you're your kid's throwing a tantrum and you're like, see, even I can do this because my kids are freaking out, and you have time. You have 5 minutes to do this. It just shows your life, and it shows you real. In terms of getting people on the phone, as I did it for a while, it's kind of everything. It works for whoever. It's definitely not my favorite. It definitely, I think, works. It doesn't seem to work for me that well, but you know what? Everybody does their thing. So you do, know that all these things we're telling you, give it longer than a week, right? But you might have to try different things, and that's why we give you all these ideas, because you need to try different things to figure out what's going to work the best for you and what's going to click for you. And for whatever reason, I feel like I close better. Maybe I would close faster if I got people on the phone. I don't know. But I will end with who you're interacting with and who you're messaging. I will not, even though I'm a big proponent of colder, cooler messaging, you will still see me. People do not get a message from me until I have interacted, liked, and commented on at least 2 or 3 of their most recent posts. They don't know that that's why I'm commenting and interacting. They don't know. What it looks like is, oh my gosh, she found me. She actually went and looked at my page, and then she sent a message because she thinks I'm so super awesome. All of that's true, but they don't realize that I deliberately was liking and commenting so that I could send them a message. Okay, they don't know that. So you need to go and interact. It will up the chances. I'm not saying it's not a guarantee. I have plenty of people that don't message me back and ignore my messages. But I think it's important for me personally to send that and interact a little bit. I can do about 1 minute per message because it takes me about 1 minute to get the person, get in there, do my things, and then send the message, and then I move on to the next person. So if that means Stephanie Dunn one time said that she does she'll do 10 to 15 messages in the morning. Takes her 15 minutes or whatever. And then she'll do another in the middle afternoon or whatever. If it's overwhelming in chunks, break it up. Just do it. You have to do it. And you have to do it more than once a week or just whenever you think you might feel like it. I was going to have one more and now I lost my train of thought. So any questions? I'm trying to regather that.
So, okay, so somebody's asking about Periscope. So Periscope is an app, and this was super popular back before Facebook had Facebook Live. So some people still like it, but it's essentially just a platform to go live, and you can build your network like you can on Facebook. Creepers are everywhere on Periscope, but if it is your jam, totally, it's just another way to connect with people. So that is what that is. So something I kind of want to talk about, and then Jess, we'll get to, you probably have a lot of the same things to say, but a couple things I just really want to reiterate. Okay, so we're talking a lot about messaging, about posting, about following up, about interacting. All of these things work together. Okay, so if you're just messaging and you're not posting, your sign rate is going to be negative because people are going to be one, I don't know what she's even talking about. 2, she's not telling me anything that I need, so I'm not really interested in what she has going on. So the posting piece of it is the minimum, but it is one of the most important pieces. And I heard, we were talking about this in a leadership chat the other day. Somebody was struggling because they were messaging a lot, but they weren't getting any, they just were not getting any kind of good feedback or any people to be yeah, what is it that you do? And it's because when you pull up the page, there was nothing there that people could relate to. So we talk a lot about relationships and building relationships, which is true. We want to be building relationships, but at bare minimum, people need to be able to relate to whatever it is that you're posting about. Whatever it is, are you being real to you? Are you talking about your struggle? Are you talking about what you've overcome? Are you talking about the little small wins? Or when people pull up your page, is it just spammy, something you've copy and pasted from somebody else, an image you pulled off Pinterest, an image you got from somebody else? That doesn't relate. People don't relate to that. So it all really, really works together. So, to get the good feedback from messaging and to get the people enrolled from messaging, the posting piece is a huge piece of it, but people need to see you and your story. That is literally what Olive Green Carpet was about. Sharing your story and how to share it well and how to share it in a million different ways. And I literally feel like a broken record on social media because I'm telling my story every single day in different ways. But if you don't feel like a broken record, you're not telling it enough. If you don't feel repetitive, you're not telling it enough. You just have to figure out how to tell it in fun, exciting, different ways every single day. Okay, Jess.
Okay, wait. I did remember. And then Jess, you're totally on. Okay, listen. All right. So here's my biggest mistake in the beginning. And I feel like it can start to roadblock me now. I had 3 girls that were supposed to sign up on Friday. Legitimately, we're not talking oh, I'm interested. No, sending me info on Friday. Friday comes around. One of them gets back to me, sends me her address and email, didn't send her card number. On Saturday, I have the other one girl, the third girl's ghosting me. But the second one is oh my gosh, yes, I'm on my way home from work. Send me, I was just going to do it myself. So send me your code and I'll get on there. And I was okay, cool. Then Saturday fit and nothing's, and I'm following up right with these people, almost with an air of desperation, which is a huge turnoff side note. But then Sunday, because we're double points this weekend, and I was how's it happen now? Okay. All I could think about was this is freaking 1,200 points. 1,200 points locked in the bag. These girls are ready. They're hot. They're all ready to go. And I let that keep me from messaging on Saturday and Sunday because I was so focused on these 3 chicks who never even signed. They're gonna someday, may not be this week, it may not be next year. They're going to someday, but I can't wait on the ones I think are going to happen and let that stop me from reaching out to the new ones. So I hear over and over and over from people, oh, I've got this girl, she's ready to go. Cool. Don't wait for her to build your business and build your income, because you waiting on them is going to stall you out every single time because they're not going to be ready on your time frame.
Yep. So good. So good. If your list is the same next week as it is today, there's a problem. Like, you should constantly be getting new names on your list every single day. Okay, Jess, let's hear what you got.
Hi, guys. Do I sound okay? Because everybody's frozen on my end. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this is going to be super repetitive. Okay. But like we've been saying, that's the beauty of this business, is that's like, we're going to have the same tips probably. Okay. So first off, like you've heard over and over and over again tonight, I think one of the biggest things for me is sharing my journey and sharing my story, like Trista said, every single way, but in different ways, in new ways, right? And it's so important to know that every single person has a story, whether you just got started today or you've been in for 4 years. Every single person has a story to share. And how you do that is, share your fears. Was there something that held you back from joining, right? What were your biggest fears in saying yes? What was life like before you joined It Works? All right. What is life like now? Even if you've been in for 2 days, you can talk about some of the friendships you're starting to form. You can talk about maybe some products that you can't wait to try. You can start creating that journey, right? And then once you've been in for a while, actually even on like day 1, you can talk about what it's going to do for you. Okay. What are your goals? What's this going to do for you? Or have you always dreamed of taking your kids to Disney? Then get a picture of Disney World and talk about how you've always dreamed of doing this, and you know that this is the vehicle that's going to get you there, okay? So it is creating that, it's projecting what's going to happen, okay? Because that is what people want to get behind. They don't care that you've been in for 2 days. They don't care that you know nothing about what you're doing. What they do care is that you are excited about what you have your hands on, okay? And we talk about this all the time. But especially for you guys that are new, run with this excitement and momentum that you have right now. We call it ignorance on fire, all right? I want you to just come flying out of the gates with like your hair is on fire, wanting to tell the world what you have your hands on, even though you're not real sure what you got your hands on, right? But it's something, it's huge, okay? Because what you have your hands on, whether you believe it in your heart and soul yet, is massive. You guys, you have the ability to help people change their lives. All right. And we do that by inviting them to join you in your business. And we talk about this all the time, but that power is in the ask. Okay. And we're going to get back to that in just a minute. Now, another thing that you can talk about when you're talking about the business side or sharing your journey, right? We're creating you want people to be intrigued, right? Even if they're only going to watch you because they're like, oh, she's going to quit, or this isn't going to work for her. Okay. Let them think that, but be damn sure that you prove them wrong. All right. So talk about, maybe you just signed your first distributor. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited. I am so close to hitting my very first promotion with this new company. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. This is why I joined. This is what I'm working towards. Okay. It can be something so simple, but projecting what is going to happen, because that is what they want to be a part of. People want to get on board with that. All right. As far as posting goes, let's talk about this. When people come to your page, all right. So let's say you're posting about products, you're posting about the business, and people are like, what is she even doing? Maybe they see one of your stories and they're like, what is this all about? So they go to your page. Remember that your page is your business page. This is your business front, okay? So please do what you can to keep clean, keep it inviting. How do your pictures look? Is it full of spam? Do you have a bunch of recipes and Facebook videos and memes? Like, do you have a bunch of crud that they have to sort through to even see what you're doing? Or are they like, oh, cute, there's a picture of her family, there's a picture of, make sure that when you would go and click on your page, that it is inviting to you, okay? So I want you to think about that. Like, this is my storefront. What they're seeing is important. be passionate. And that even goes into how you post, right? If your heart is not in your business, if you don't have that excitement and that passion, that bleeds out into your conversations, that bleeds into your voice memos, that bleeds into your posts, okay? People can pick up on if you are really feeling it or if you're just trying to get a post out, right? So you have to get excited, right? Excitement is going to sell before anything else in the world will sell for you. You do not have to have these huge successes to grab people's attention. All right. Sharing about the business should absolutely be on your daily 6 list. Okay. Business posts should not be something that you do weekly. It should not be something that you do monthly. It should be something that you do every single day. And I know for me, you guys, when I got started in this business, I almost told Trista no, because I didn't want to be one of those people on Facebook. I didn't. I was so terrified of annoying people, of turning my friends and my family away. But you guys, you cannot attract people to follow that journey unless you're doing it on a daily basis. Okay. Every single day. Okay. And I also want you to make sure that you share every single success. All right. Every single time that you sign a loyal customer, you need to post about it. Every single time that you sign a distributor, that you get a fast start bonus, that you win a team contest, all of those little successes show that you are building a successful business. So even those people are watching only purely out of she's going to fail, I know she's going to fail, they're going to become intrigued, right? Because they're going to see that you're actually hitting these little successes. So every time that happens for you, make sure you make a post about it and talk about what you're doing, right? So much of this business is the ability to work from your phone anywhere at any time. So talk about, I was at the park today with my kids and I signed a new loyal customer. How amazing is that? I was on my lunch break at work at the hospital today, and I welcomed a new distributor. It is showing that this business can be weaved into somebody's busy life. Because what is one of the biggest objections you're going to hear? I don't have time. All right. So talk about how you're able to work this business into your already busy life, because there's not anybody on this Zoom tonight that can't say that they have a busy life also, right? We just made it a priority to work it in. Being relatable. Guys, even in your, I'm talking about posting right now, but being relatable, making those posts, like, has anyone ever felt this way? Make sure, try to build that relationship by being relatable to people. Okay. And one of the things that you can do to be relatable to people is when you're posting about the business, posting about those little successes as far as like, I put gas in my car. I sold a wrap to somebody today and I put gas in my car. Or I got my first It Works paycheck and I'm able to buy groceries or take my family on a movie night, whatever it is. Because remember, you guys, we can talk about the bonuses until we're blue in the face. All right. But I know if you're like me or a lot of people, I could have come into this business or been watching this business and someone could have got $100,000 bonus, a $10,000 bonus. I would have been like, yeah, right. Or I would have been like, that's great for her, but I could never do something like that, right? But by posting about the diapers and the groceries and the gas, you guys, those are the little things that most people now can't afford. 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So don't forget to hit on those little aspects that this business allows you to do. Some very simple things like that. I cannot tell you the amount of people who have messaged me about this business just simply because I made a post about filling up my gas tank. Okay? Don't forget about those little successes. Okay, and as far as like consistent posting, you guys, I signed a distributor this week who's been watching me for 3 years. She's been watching me post. She's been watching my journey for 3 years. Had I not been consistent with this, she would have joined, but she would not have joined with me. Okay. And that is the thing. And that is the hardest thing, is that, are you going to plant these seeds for someone to harvest later, you guys? And that is the worst thing in the entire world. Or even worse is to know that you should have said something to somebody when you just didn't have the courage to say something to them, or like, oh, I just really want you on my team, just something so simple. And then to see them join someone later on. Okay. So it's those little bits of courage. Stories. We've talked about that tonight, you guys. Stories is huge. I get so much traffic on my stories, whether it's product or it's business. Make sure that you're sharing your story, make your own story, but then also share other people's stories. Change it up a little bit, using the polls or giving them a way to contact you if they have questions on the business side. And going live. Okay, my new girl, I think she's on here tonight, Alyssa. I love her so much, but she's the queen of going live. She's never gone live a day in her life, and she's gone live every day in the 2 weeks that she has been in this business. And you guys, her business is exploding. It's completely exploding. So having that just 2 seconds of courage to go live, to share this opportunity, to talk about what you're doing, just to create that buzz and that excitement, just to get people to ask questions, you guys, is so, so, so huge. Okay? All right. Follow up. We talked about this. I'm going to hit on this for a minute again. Follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. Okay? Not once, guys, but as often as you possibly can until the end of time. All right? When do you stop following up with somebody? You don't. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. Okay? Alyssa, that I was just talking about, was one of them. You guys, I first asked her about joining this business with me 2 years ago. She has turned me down flat for 2 years straight, okay? But it didn't stop me from reaching back out to her, all right? Don't ever stop following up with someone, especially when you have that feeling that you just know that this would be the best fit for them. Don't stop following up with them. And I think that's one of the most neglected things in this business is the follow-up. Maybe someone will say, no, thank you. It's not for me, okay? Ask them, simply say like, okay, can I ask you what's holding you back, right? Because once you can kind of get a handle on what their fears are or their objections are, we can handle that. We can totally take care of that, right? But even if they say no, a month from now or when a new promotion comes out, it's simply a quick voice message letting them know that they're still on your mind. And oh my gosh, I know that this was not the right time for you in March, but I just can't stop thinking about you. I would love for you to be on my team. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just super simple, letting them know that you are still thinking about them. Follow-ups don't always have to be about the business, you guys. It is about continuing to build that relationship, right? It might be something as simple as, hey, I saw that your kid was sick. I hope she's feeling better today. Or, hey, I love your family pictures. Who took those? Or, hey, I just wanted to check in and say hi. All right? It doesn't always have to be about the business. It's about continuing to build and nourish that relationship because you want them to trust you, right? Like you're asking them to join you on this journey of a lifetime. So don't just be cut and dry with, are you joining me or not? You in or you out? Build the relationship. 80% of enrollments, you guys, 80% of enrollments happen on the fifth follow-up or after. Okay, so how many times have you given up on someone that you approached about this business? Or even maybe they asked you a question about this business, you answered them a question, they ignored you, or they went away, they said no. How many times have you stopped after 1 or 2 times? I'm gonna bet almost everybody on here is guilty of that. I know I am, right? But you guys, it is so much in the follow-up. I will tell you right now that the vast majority of people that I sign up are either began as my loyal customers who I've continued to follow up with, or people that I've been talking to about this business for months, if not years, okay? So you can't just assume coming into this business, I'm gonna plant a seed, I'm gonna ask a question, and then all of a sudden everything is going to blow up, all right? There's so much involved in that. Are you posting so they can continue to follow you and become even more intrigued about what you're doing? And are you following up them? Are you following with them and letting them know that you're still thinking about them? Again, if you're introducing the idea of this business to them, but you're not following up with them, you are planting a seed for someone else to harvest later. That's what's going to happen, you guys. They are going to join because you already told them you think they would be good at this. Or you've already planted that seed of that extra income or that freedom of time, all right? And if you're not the one that is following up with them, someone else is going to, and they're going to sign with them. You want to be the first person to reach out to somebody, and you want to be the last person to follow up with them, okay? Having new conversations all the time, and getting people, like Deb said, getting people face-to-face as often as you can. There's so much power in that face-to-face coffee talk, you guys. Go and sit down at Starbucks with them and take your own coffee. Guys, don't drink Starbucks. Sit down face-to-face with them and talk to them. Let them see your excitement. Let them feel how passionate you are about this business and how excited you are to get them started. Let them feel that, okay? I can tell you right now, I can seal the deal with a new distributor in 20 minutes face-to-face versus months of going back and forth back and forth on Messenger. It's quick, it's efficient, and you guys, it honestly is, there's so much of that human, like we all crave that, just that human relationship. There's so much of that in this business, and we can't forget that, okay? Mindset, you guys, mindset. This is the last thing I'm gonna talk about. 90% of this business, if not more, is all in your head, okay? And we say that all the time, but I know if you were like me, I probably waited a good 6 to 9 months before I started doing self-development, because I was like, I am a happy person. I do not need that business, right? You guys, it totally changes how you think about your business, how you approach other people and your relationships in your life. It hugely affects your business. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you come into this business, or if you are in a spot in your business where maybe things haven't been moving along like they used to, or as good as you want them to, we have all been there. But you know what? If you're in the place where you no longer believe that you can do this, or that you are capable of doing this or doing this again, then you're absolutely right. You have to get your mind right in order to move forward, because whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you are correct. All right. So get your mind right. I'm starting a book club tomorrow night, and we're going over Build to Last. I would love for you to join me in that, you guys. Even if you want to quickly get an audio book tomorrow, it's an amazing book, but it's all about network marketing. It's all about mindset. It's about leadership. It is so good. But even if you don't join us in that, find a book that you love. Ask any of us for some recommendations, but get your mind right, okay? Because if you're not in a place of growth and excitement and passion in your business right now, that bleeds out into everything. And it's gonna be really hard to attract people to your business, okay? And another way that you can do that is by building that mindset is getting to events, get close to the fire, get around people. So many times, time and time again, I will see somebody that is struggling in their business, and the first thing that they want to do is retreat, right? They want to separate themselves. They want to go get quiet. You guys have done it, myself. And they just want to be like, okay, I just need some space. I'm just mad. I'm like disappointed in myself, whatever it is. But instead of that, you guys, I highly encourage you to get around your teammates. Go to an event, find something near you. Go and ask to meet with some teammates that are local to the area. Get to green carpet, get to conference. Nothing will light your fire, build your excitement, create that passion, and that will bleed out and exude into everything, where everybody is going to want to be a part of your business, like getting to an event. And I promise you guys, for 4 years, I can't even reiterate that enough. That is huge for your business. But most importantly, don't count yourself out. You are worthy. You are capable. You are amazing, and you can draw distributors in like anybody else can, right? You just got to believe in yourself. You got to be willing to put the work in, and just get out there and be vocal about how absolutely incredible this business is.
100%. Could not agree more. It literally is 99% mindset, 1% action. Like, action has to be there, but how you do the action and the mindset that you have behind it dictates how that action goes. If you're sitting there saying, I just can't sign a distributor, I just can't do it, nobody wants to join me, nobody, blah, blah, blah. That is what people are hearing, because that's what you're putting out there. Like, I don't care if I haven't signed anybody a month. I am a freaking amazing distributor enroller. I train amazing distributors. Like, those are the words that I'm constantly speaking over my business. Even if I'm not really feeling it, I'm going to speak it until I feel it, right? So I love that you brought up mindset, Jess. That is boom. Okay, Christy, let's come to you, because you guys, in 2 days, we get a new product, and it is going to be literally everything. So Christy, tell us kind of, what should we be doing the next couple of days to maximize this launch? And then once it comes, what should we be doing?
Okay, so I'm super duper excited, and right now our job is to build anticipation of this product launch. And so what I would suggest is that if you check your email, there should have been a message that went out to you. I legit thought that was a spider web, like, on me. I freaked out for a second. But check your email. There should be something that's talking. It says something like biggest launch ever. And if you click on it, there will be like a countdown. I would screenshot that and I would put it into your stories, and I would do a countdown, because guys, keto coffee, the whole keto line was a huge launch. And then we had Thermophyte X. That was a huge launch. And they're calling this the biggest launch ever. It's got to be ginormous. And so start building anticipation. Do a countdown in your stories. Talk about that on your page. Here are some keywords. If you are following top leaders, which you should be doing, here are some keywords I keep seeing. Beautiful, and that's in the email also. And just those words, biggest launch ever. So keep that in mind. Speaking of top leaders, I would tune in to top leaders like Stephanie Dunn. They've been talking about it a lot in their stories and on their page, she and Joel. Because on the 9th, they're going to get, and you guys can, like Trista, I don't know if all ambassadors, or I don't know what the criteria was, but definitely be watching our ambassadors, because they're going to get a sneak peek package sent to them, and they're going to, open them and take a look at them. So we'll get that sneak peek with them, and then you can start talking about that on your page too. On the 10th of October, you will be able to purchase the products. And so another thing that's really important is that you get those products in your hands so that you can start showing them and posting about your own. You can start using them and getting your own before and afters. But the big thing is just to have fun with it. Build excitement. I would really, really, really encourage you to just start doing things that on your page and in your stories that are going to build engagement. Like ask questions, do polls, and I would make them centered around skincare. That's kind of the hints that we're getting right now. I don't know any more than that, but talk about your daily skincare routine. And it's okay if you don't really have a daily skincare routine. Be really careful. I put a question out there like, what's your daily skincare routine? I'm looking for something, and I got flooded with like Rodan Fields and like all other kinds of skincare stuff that I don't even know about. So I was like, oh, that's not what I want. So talk about your skincare routine, what you do on the daily basis, even if you're like me and like, I'm lucky if I wash my face once a day. I'm not gonna lie. If my makeup looks decent the next day, I'm gonna just get the mascara out from under my eyes and like be really excited. So just be honest and talk about your own skincare routine. Oh my goodness, if you have before and afters of our skincare products, you should be posting those. You should be posting those in your stories. You should be talking about how your skin has changed. I just got mine corporate approved today, and so, someone that saw them, I haven't posted them yet because I did the math wrong on the months. But anyway, she said, you look like a grandma in the before, and in the after, you look like a fun aunt. And she's totally right. I can't even believe the difference in how I look. It's crazy. So if you've got your own before and afters, or if, teammates like Trista just posted hers today for collagen, her hair, I can't even believe the difference in her hair between the before and after. So definitely be talking about them. Talk about the things you're looking for. Like I know for me, I need something with retinol in it. And I don't know if anything is coming with retinol in it, but I'm going to be talking about that because I've got, something with my dermatologist. And so I had to go out and buy another skincare product that has retinol in it. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Just be raw, be real. Also, you want to get your potentials list in order. So if you've ever had anyone interested in skincare, you need to get that list. It would be really amazing if you could get those people into Connect, because then you're going to be so much more efficient when this product or product line, whatever it is, drops. So look back, what I would do and what I am in the process of doing, if you've been in the business for a minute, look up in Messenger and up in the top where you can search. I would search by skincare. I would search by some of the skincare products that you have posted about or people have messaged you about. Collagen is going to be one of the huge ones. So just kind of build your list of people that you have spoken to or who have reached out to you about skincare. Any of those interactive things that you're doing where you're asking questions about, what's your daily skincare routine look like? Or if you do a poll, anyone that interacts with those, they need to go on your potentials list for sure. I definitely, you want to be following our corporate people. Like I know Kinsey Pentecost just got married, but generally speaking, she talks a lot about skincare. And even if you go to her, in her saved story features on Instagram, there's a whole section on beauty products, and she's talking about hyaluronic acid, and she's talking about retinol, and she's talking about collagen. And so look to see, some of the things that the corporate leaders are posting about, because they're what Pam calls dripping it. They're dripping it into their newsfeed. So be aware. Success leaves clues. So watch some of the top leaders and how they're talking about it. I would strongly encourage you to go live or use the hands-free option. Like in my stories today, I talked about my daily skincare routine. I'm probably going to get picked up by some makeup companies anytime now, because like that's how good it was. I couldn't even remember what a cotton ball was called. That's how great I am in the whole makeup and skincare department. So just have fun. Don't be afraid to look silly. I don't know that I have ever really, my husband probably has not seen me without mascara on. And today I just in my stories like had a completely clean face. I was looking like at all the age spots on my forehead, but you know what? It's real life. That's my market anyway. I'm not really marketing to the 18-year-olds. I don't have a huge 18-year-old following currently, nor probably will I ever. So those are some of the things. Let me check my notes. So engagement is huge, dripping skincare into your posts and into your stories, talking about your routine, finding ways to engage with your audience, doing a countdown to the product launch, really paying attention to top leaders, especially the ones that have mentioned that they're getting that package and they're going to open them live on the 9th. You want to be able to communicate to your network what's coming, and then you want to purchase anything that you can on the 10th so that you can talk about that you've already got yours and it's on its way, and then you can do your own unboxing, and then you can start using them and talk about how they look, how they smell, how they feel, and how they make your skin feel. If we get a skincare line, an alleged skincare.
An alleged. We don't know, but it is skincare.
Alleged.
I'm telling you, it's skincare. And it's going to be flipping amazing. It's going to be amazing. And it's like the start of a whole new line. So you guys, the louder we get about it, it's going to carry us into the beginning of the year and into next year. So get super excited because it's going to be awesome. And
one more thing I say, just one more thing.
Yeah.
And I want people to be mindful that just because it's a product launch does not mean that this isn't an opportune time to talk to people about the business. Because when TFX launched last year, it was like I signed a ton of distributors because people recognized that it was something that was going to be huge and be big. And so they wanted to jump in to be a part of that. So don't neglect the fact that this is a great time to ask people to join the business with you, because we just are having this huge product launch. So
absolutely. Huge product launch means lots of customers, which means we need distributors to put all those customers with, and that just expands your network. So perfect. Somebody asked about follow-up. Chrissy kind of mentioned it. So connect, you guys. Get in the habit of using Connect. Get your potentials in Connect. You can set the follow-up reminders right on Connect. I was an old school, like I just kept a list in my notes. And I would, like, every time a new product came out or every time kits were half off, I would pull up my notes and message every person. You guys, get in the habit of using Connect. It is such a time saver. We're all going ambassador because we're all going to use it, right? So, okay, we are at an hour, so we'll hop off of here. But don't forget, opportunity event on Wednesday, opportunity event on Sunday, and I will get this recording up in the team page before I go to bed. So you guys can tag your team members who weren't on tonight. And I love you guys. I'll see you in a couple days. See you later.